Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Flip the Script with Vic. It's your host, Victoria Nielsen. I'm so excited because before we even jumped on today, I knew my conversation with Rebecca Radiance was going to be meaningful and was going to be beautiful. This fellow priestess and dream weaver and mama is a woman I have admired on Instagram for quite a while. The second we got on today, I felt like I've always known you and I've always remembered you. So I see you, I honor
Hmm.
you, and thank you for being here, Rebecca Radiance. You just even saying your name makes me smile. Do people tell you that all the time?
Yes. Yeah, it's radiance is a reflection of everyone's radiance back to them. And so that's where the name came from.
I love that. And I know your journey as a mama, like mine, really I feel like cracked you open and brought you into a new version of your spirituality and of yourself. Have you always been a priestess? Have you always had this deep devotion, or kind of where did it start, and how did you even earn the name Radiance, or even discover it, I guess I should say?
Oh, that's a beautiful opening. Well, I am so grateful to be here with you today, Victoria. I also have admired you from the little digital altars that we create in Instagram. And yeah, you like seeing you and your presence and just your bigness and the way that you show up, like you light me up. So I love you. Huge fan of you, Victoria. And yes, like you were saying, I feel like I've always known you as well. So yeah, this is a nice reunion of yeah, maybe other lifetimes that we've traveled in. So have I always been a priestess? Yes. I mean, aren't we all? Aren't all women priestesses?
Maybe you just didn't
Yeah.
know it. I know I used to bury that shit really far down.
Oh yeah, I went through my own forgetting for many years, but I grew up um, with just the beauty of being immersed in nature, and my childhood was quite complicated, as many of us are, or many of us do experience. Yeah, parents that give us the perfect recipe of life lessons that we'll need to crack us open. But I did have this beautiful connection with nature, with my intuition, with my dreams, and with my imagination and my ability to go into my inner verse very easily, and even accessing non-ordinary states of consciousness quite frequently at a very young age, which I didn't know it until later. But you asked about how the name Radiance came to me. I will make this a jewel-sized, condensed story. It's a bigger story, but it was actually in a plant medicine journey. I was on the land that and like physically on the land in my journey, and I was also traveling in my medicine journey on the land where I grew up, my childhood lands that are native here in Central Texas. And I met with people that lived there long ago. And I was understanding, even though they were speaking in another language, I could understand everything that they were saying to me. I was having very telepathic, telekinetic, ESP experiences in this altered state. And they showed me that my name, my soul name, is Radiance, and that it's actually a name that I've traveled with throughout every single lifetime. And what it is I reflect everyone's radiance back to them. And so that's part of my soul medicine, is to, yeah, just be this beautiful sacred mirror of people being able to witness and experience their own radiance through my reflection. So that's how the name came.
I love that. And we have that connection with our plant medicine, mushroom mamacita, I think was actually how, I came to find you. So I
Yes.
definitely want to talk more about that, because I feel like that for sure was something that cracked me open. But hearing the name, I was wondering as you were speaking, does it ever actually trigger people? Like, do some people actually not know how to see their own radiance? And so when they see it in you, it has not a negative effect, but has medicine for them that they need to experience?
That's such a wonderful question, and so far I have not encountered that. I actually quite I mean maybe it's just not brought to my attention, but I actually quite rarely encounter people that I trigger deeply. Um, and I've actually done like a lot of investigation like in my gene keys and exploring that. And there's something about my bio frequency, or I don't know, the template that I came in here with, where that's not a big part of my soul work here is to trigger
Mm.
people. It's more to um yeah, like hold this invitation of curiosity and exploration. And I think that that's also why, I came here to do the work that I do with dream work, is because it's something that there's no gatekeeping in dream work. We all have access to it, and it is something that is endlessly curious. It's the great mystery. It's the great mystery of consciousness and the great dream weave.
It's
That I'm who knows, maybe I will. I mean, I definitely trigger my husband.
No, I hope, but I kind of love that you share that, right? Because some people are like it is their template to be triggering
Yeah.
people and to like our Sagittarius sister who we love, like,
Mhm.
that's her template. My Scorpio co-founder in Monarch Mystery School, like far more triggering in her template than I feel like I was made to be. But dreams, I have such an interesting relationship with my dreams, I guess I could say. Like when I was younger, I also was intuitive, but I would have what I experienced as more like night terrors or
Mhm.
just very, like, very visceral, very vivid. And I remember shutting off that part of myself, like going to bed at night as like a 7 or 8 year old and literally saying, I don't want to have any dreams. I don't want to have any
Mhm.
dreams. And that turned off like my intuition for the longest time. But then it's been through dreams that I have experienced such profound things. Like with my first son, Sebastian, I was told I wasn't pregnant. I mean, I took a blood test, I took a pregnancy test, like I took all these tests and it was like, you're not pregnant. And time kept going on, but my period never showed up. And my godmother came to me in a dream and was like talking to me about being pregnant. And I was like, wait, what? And then I went and took another test finally went to see an OB. I was 9 weeks along. Like, and
Yes.
I had no idea. And then the same with I've had two miscarriages, and the most recent one, I woke up from a nap, like very suddenly because I felt like a little baby hand, like on my belly. And then it was
Mhm.
gone. And then the next day I experienced the miscarriage, and I was like, oh, I know what that was now. And
Mhm.
like, how do you, as a dream weaver, when you're introducing this idea to folks, like, to get them, I guess, maybe to open to the idea, because I feel like a lot of people were probably like me in the beginning, where we were like, nope, I see no evil, hear no evil, like I want nothing to do with this. Do you find that people are like that, or that they come to you already open and already ready to learn more?
Oh, well, first, thank you so much for sharing your beautiful oracular dreams with me. Absolutely beautiful. Um, I love talking with women about the my exploration of dream work has really traveled into the shamanic womb cultures of really of ancient like lunar era and shamanic womb cults, which were also dreaming cults. And so our wombs are, they are connected to the infinite dream wave. So the fact that your spirit babies came to give you those messages that they're here, and also that they were leaving, like, it's just so beautiful. And I think that that's one of the many reasons why reconnecting the threads of dream work in our modern world is so vital and so important, because it gives you that direct relationship with your inner authority. To answer your question of how people come to me with dream work, it's every facet of the spectrum. Um, One of the reasons why I'm so passionate about dream work, that really, I think a fire was lit under me after I had my daughter, to talk more about this and to teach it more, is because of your story exactly. How children are not given the container to be able to explore their dreams and understand their dreams as a direct communication with the soul. Um, I I work with dreams through an animistic lens, and so my my experience of dreams is that we are having journeys of the soul with beings that are not embodied. We're also having journeys with many facets of ourself, multidimensional aspects of ourself, and we can get into quantum dreaming later if you'd like to, because it's fascinating. But also with like the animal, the vegetal, and the elemental kingdoms. And so we're traveling through, having these experiences with all of these other species in the great web of life. And in the Western world, we've been so severed from that. We've been completely severed from this entire cosmology that was once the fabric of reality for thousands and thousands of years across continents. And so, in the West in particular, dreams were reduced to, mental noise, random neural firings, or even just to the psyche itself. So it was legitimized, through the psychological work of Freud, and even Jung, who was a mystic, but I think in academia his mysticism was very watered down. But in in the Western world, the mysticism and the immense, vast wisdom and cosmology of dream work was severed and lost, and it was sequestered to the head, to the mind, where we don't just dream with our minds, we dream with our whole bodies, because our dreams are water. They truly are water, and I can get into explaining what that means in a moment. But um, it's in our fascia, it's in our lymph, it's in our blood, it's in our bones, and the memories of every experience that we've had that travel within the waters of our DNA, within the crystalline waters of our cerebrospinal fluid, within the waters of our womb. That is what makes our dreams. And so when we can start very young, and this is particularly like why I love working with women, because women, regardless of whether they have children or not, women are very drawn to mothering communities, mothering projects, mothering movements. And when we get to the mothers with this work and they're able to help shape the future generations, then we don't have something like your experience where there's a fear there and a disconnection, and it's not your parents' fault, of course, because they grew up with their own
Oh
conditioning
yeah.
around
They
dreams
had
that
no
we're taught to
idea.
them.
Like
Exactly. Because they're taught to, like, oh, it's just a dream. Don't worry about it. It's okay. It's just a nightmare.
it
Forget
doesn't
about it.
mean anything.
It doesn't
Like
mean
it
anything.
doesn't mean
Exactly.
anything. It's not a big deal when really it's our soul speaking to us. Like
It
I
is.
remember the times that I have flown in dreams is
Mm-hmm.
only ever been when I've had like something moving within me, and like when I have dreams of water like rushing into houses and things. Like sometimes the dreams are very like literal, but sometimes it's big symbols of like change and transformation and what's coming. And I think sometimes people want to be able to say, I don't know, horse equals this, right? Or like water equals
Mm-hmm.
this. And I find that that's not always true, that you tend to have your own maps and symbols that are unique to you. Like yes, you will have some, right, that are universal, but the more that you study your dreams and the more you study yourself, things will appear to you in your dreams as symbols for things or as totems of things so that you can begin to better and deeper interpret the message. But it takes time and it takes practice and it takes, I think, opening yourself up to that astral travel, even because we have free will. So we can tell our bodies and our brains and our bones, like, nope, I'm staying in this bed. I don't want to astral travel. I don't want to go do that thing. And it's a shame because I think we're afraid because we just don't know or we don't understand. And we were never taught to. And I love that you're bringing your daughter up to already know this and understand this and not be afraid of it. Like that's so beautiful.
Thank you. Yes, and what you're speaking to is so beautiful of as building our own living library codex of our dream dictionary, our dream symbols. And I really move in the dreams beyond symbolism. Symbolism is definitely a part of how I understand and work with dreams, but dreams to me are more of an invitation of how to live differently and how to be in relationship with ourselves. Dreams truly are the way that I have been able to know myself more clearly, more oracularly, and yeah, and just like truly know who I am. I am able to tap into my feminine magic and also do very, very practical things like, get rehearse something for the future that I want to go well, to problem solve for something. I incubate, and incubate just it's an ancient term in dream incubation temples throughout ancient Egypt, ancient Greece, ancient Babylonia, and the ancient Romans. Cross culturally across centuries, dream incubation within temples was not a fringe spiritual practice. It was normative, it was pervasive. And with incubation, you set a very clear intention for what sort of guidance you would like to receive in the dreaming, or if you would like to receive a healing. And typically, there was a lot of preparation that went into dream incubation, including bathing and cleansing rituals, working with sacramental plants, not by ingesting them, but sometimes ingesting them, but more often using like sacred smudge smoke yeah, to work with the morphogenic field like in a certain way, to induce deep healing dreams. And through these incubations that I do for myself, I every single minor or major decision that I make in my life, every creative project, everything that I birth, it all comes from my dreams. And so this is something that I teach women how to do because we I do this through the wisdom of the womb and through womb enlightenment and womb gnosis because our dreams as women are very connected to our womb power. And just to speak to what the other possibilities of dreams is, many indigenous cultures believe that dreams are the loom from which all of reality is woven. And so I believe that our dreams are actually a really beautiful form of spiritual technology and a way that we can be spiritual activists and like what we are feeding into the dream wave. Like if we're going to sleep, we're going into the dream space with reverence, like we're going into a ceremony every night. We're actually feeding the dream wave of the morphogenic field that is creating the fabric of reality. Not to say that if you it is, it's amazing. And not to say that if you dream this, this is exactly what's going to happen. It's more so like we are, a part of okay, I'll break this down a little bit more metaversy. So, we don't perceive what is it, 99% of reality.
Oh yeah, something ridiculous.
And so when we have all of these filters that are up so that we are able to function and to have an ego and to put on our pants and to feed ourselves and to live in this dimension of reality. And there are, infinite other realities that are simultaneously happening all around us at all times. When we enter the dream weave, I believe, and this is what many indigenous teachers also believe, and many like ancient dream wisdom traditions believe that, our gates of perception open. And our gates of perception are closed while we're awake, while we're in waking consciousness. But when we go into that dreaming, sleeping consciousness, we're in a different brainwave state, a different frequency, where our gates of perception are very open and our soul body is able to travel. Part of our soul stays here, anchored in the body, keeping the body, alive. But part of our soul is able to travel. And we're able to have these experiences and these journeys of soul that I believe, from an evolutionary perspective, like the creator gave us this innate spiritual technology as an evolutionary advantage because dreams actually help us to live better. They help us to understand the spirit world more clearly. They help us to know that we're not alone, that we, and in a world where people, there's an epidemic of loneliness, where people have access without any intermediaries every night to the dream world, where they have access to ancestors and allies and teachers, and even parts of themselves that they can connect with every night that they sleep. I think that this completely fundamentally changes the way that people experience their life, and you begin to experience life more lucidly, and also from this place of knowing how directly you're you are co-creating your lived experience and your experience of reality in both the dreaming and the waking life. So dreams, they teach us how to live better. They also teach us how to die better. And that was a big part of shamanic womb mystery schools, was, especially in ancient Egypt, was practicing going, through the gates of reverse gestation when you would die, and learning how to navigate the afterlife and the other world in the dream time.
I could listen to you talk about this forever because it really just shifts my perspective of sleep and dreaming, because I think most people are like, oh, it's a function. Like you have to sleep to live. And yes, obviously our bodies need rest. But like I think about someone like my husband who like never dreams. And I always am curious, like I don't know what's going on or what he's blocking or what's happening for him to not have the dreams, because I've always remembered my dreams. And they're not always super vivid, but when they are, I remember them. And when I'm really in my routine of my energy healing practices and of my energy clearing, I'm very thoughtful going into bed that I'm not taking anyone else's energy with me. I'm making sure to completely clear the day, because then you're sleeping in someone else's energy. But also now my brain is going, oh shit. And now you're taking that into the dream weave.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're taking all that yucky stuff into the dream weave that's probably not even yours.
Mm-hmm.
And, wow, like that's kind of shitty of you as a human. Like, do your due diligence. Like you're participating in this weave. And I think even just, I don't know, flipping that for people of like, you're an active participant. Whether you're conscious or, subconsciously doing it, like you are an active participant, and you should treat it with reverence, because I think that reverence is going to carry over to everything else in your life, right? If you're thoughtful about how you go to bed at night, you're going to be thoughtful about how you get up in the morning. You're going to be
Mm-hmm.
thoughtful about how you spend your day. You're going to be thoughtful about so many things. And, we were talking about the 3D world, and gosh, we incarnated to experience some things in the 3D that we can't experience otherwise. So how beautiful that the creator gave us this gift to actually see what it's like not in the 3D,
Right.
because we can get really sucked down here. And what a beautiful way to, yes, to know we're not alone. Like I keep hearing that Michael Jackson song in my head that's literally like, you are not alone. I am here with you. Like that's the energy that I feel. And wow, what a relief to know that we're not alone, that you
Mm-hmm.
have help, that you can do this on your own just by dreaming. Like,
Yes.
how fucking cool is that?
It's amazing. Yeah, you can have a soul retrieval experience. You can have a massive, awakening. You can receive I mean, the way that I actually received the soul of my daughter and like anchored us together was in the dream weave, and her name came to me. She told me what her name was when I was pregnant with her, and I had many dreams with her in my womb. That's like a whole other topic that I love exploring, is when women are pregnant and the dreams that they're having with their spirit babies, and even calling their spirit babies in, like when they're in their conception season. But I want to go back to what you were saying about your husband, that he doesn't believe that he dreams, because that's actually something that so many people believe that they don't dream. And the good news is that every human brain, like a healthy human brain, dreams multiple dreams every night.
Yes.
So
Okay, good. He's not
the
broken. It's
problem is
happening no matter what.
he's not broken. No one is broken. Everyone is dreaming every single night. We go through several sleep cycles. They're 90-minute sleep cycles, multiple times a night, depending on how long you're sleeping. But anywhere between 6 and 7 of them if you're sleeping an 8-hour night. The problem is recall, and it's being able to catch and hunt and retrieve the dream upon waking, which is completely trainable and super super simple. So for anyone that thinks that I just don't dream, when you're trying to train your body for recall, this is a practice of, it's part nervous system regulation and also patience. So when you wake up, one of the most important things to do when you wake up is to not look at your phone, don't jump into your day, like, and even moving can kind of, it's called like doing a dream flit, where the dream just flits away. So, if you can stay in the position that you woke up in just for a few moments and just set the intention, like, I would like for my dreams to come back to me. And one of the things that I do, this is my personal practice, I close my eyes, I focus on my third eye, and then I see the ocean bringing in my dreams like waves coming onto the shoreline. And sometimes I have to wait like 3 to 5 minutes, but eventually it does come back. And also, another very important variable to dream recall is your dreams want to know that you intend to catch them the next morning. So, setting an intention at night before you go to sleep, putting up whatever type of protection feels comfortable for you, whatever. Even just doing like a grid of golden light around yourself, around your home, around your loved ones that are resting within your home, calling on any guides, ancestors, deities that you like to work with, and just asking for them to safely like guard your home, guard your body, guard your spirit, and allow your soul to travel freely in the dream weave and receive the lessons that are, most important for you to know at this time, or whatever your dream incubation intention is. I move through different seasons where I work very specifically with different types of incubation intentions. But you have to have a way to catch your dream when you wake up. And so whether that's journaling, or my modality that I have adopted since motherhood, because the days of waking up and having
And getting
20
to do
minutes
what you
to
want.
journal my dreams, yeah, have like, yeah, that's not a reality for me with a 3-year old. So what I do is I have a red filter light on my phone so it doesn't like disrupt my melatonin production. And I just, in my voice notes, I just catch my dream. And it's very important when you catch your dream to speak present tense, because that keeps you in the brainwave state of being able to recall dream fragments more easily. And people may even be saying like, I don't remember even anything. It's actually wonderful to just start with like how you feel when you wake up. What is the residue that you're waking with? Do you have a feeling? Connect with your body. Place your hands, on your body and just like feel into the energetics of like what is present with me right now. And then also if there's any colors, any sensations, or maybe even anything that is coming to you, because when you wake up, you're in a threshold liminal brainwave state, you're in the hypnopompic state. And that is a beautiful space where you have access, your gates of perception are still quite open. And so you have access to lots of information. And typically some of my best problem solving comes in that hypnopompic window. And so I like to give myself lots of space if I can in the morning to kind of feel into my day and yeah, like problem solve things that I might be curiously moving through. And then sometimes, like, the mysteries of the universe are also revealed to you. And then you're like, wait.
Right. And you're like, you're going to have to remember this. Like, I
Totally,
swear. And then it
exactly.
like goes out your ear. That's how I felt with my first plant medicine journey, actually. I was like,
Totally.
the universe told me all of its secrets. And then the trip was over and I was like, and now I forgot all of them.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
It's all within you, Victoria. It's all within you. But I mean, it's just very simple. A dream catching practice can take, 3 to 5 minutes of your morning. And it's like any muscle. Like once you start training and working out, the muscle strengthens and it's a cognitive muscle that you're building. But dreams love to know that you care about them. So if you are if you're setting intentions at night and if you intend to catch it in the morning, your dream recall will improve very quickly. Very quickly.
Can't
I
wait
mean,
to
women,
try this tonight.
yes,
We're
yes. I
gonna
hope
do it.
everybody tries this. Yeah, women that come to my dreaming containers, like they're shocked because within, like, one night or 2 nights or 3 nights, women that have been in a dream drought for years are like, I can remember my dreams. And then going back to, people that may have may have experienced dreams where it was an unpleasant experience and there's a fear around dreams. Like you said that you experienced sleep paralysis as a child, or nightmares. And with nightmares, one of the ways that we can heal through dream work is lucid dreaming is really powerful for healing nightmares, because when we are dreaming lucidly, we have agency where we can turn to whatever it is that's chasing us, that's scaring us, and we can ask, what are you here to teach me? What are you here to show me?
I
And
just punched them
lucid,
back. I didn't ask.
that's wonderful. Yeah, whatever innately and intuitively feels like is going to be the most reclaiming experience for you to be able to, yeah, to have to call your power back. But lucid dreaming is also very easily trainable. And for people that, may not go down the path of lucid dreaming, which I am a big proponent of, because through lucid dreaming, we have access to our subconscious patterns and programs, like just like we do in psychedelic experiences. We can have very therapeutic healing experiences in lucid dreams, and completely change, like rewire our neural networks, which is amazing. It's so beautiful because you don't have to ingest anything, you don't have to travel anywhere. You can do this in the comfort of your own home. But for people that may not know how to navigate lucid dreaming yet, even just re entering a dream by closing your eyes and setting an intention of going back into the dream and saying, once I'm in the dream, like this is the action that I'm going to take. And then, what do I want to know and what do I want to bring back with me? So if it's encountering and confronting maybe a being or something that was in the dream that was invoking fear, like having the intention to go in there and just have a conversation, and you would be so surprised and amazed how incredibly impactful and healing that is. I do this all the
Oh,
time with people and
absolutely.
myself.
I mean, I remember when I did teach myself how to lucid dream. I figured out like I could blink and I could change like the movie or change whatever I was
Amazing.
experiencing. And that was so powerful for me. And like once I figured that out, it was huge because I think I had a lot to work through from past lives in my dreams when I was younger. I had a lot of
Mhm.
violent past lives. And I could never understand why like there someone was always chasing me. Someone was always trying to kill me. Like I was always getting hurt or beat up or like I mean, it was awful. And then I started to lucid dream and I realized, oh no, like I could stop this or I can hit back or sometimes I would let the dream play out and see what would happen just so that I didn't have fear of what was coming next. And those dreams did eventually go away. I mean, partly because I kept saying I didn't want any dreams, but partly because I think I worked through what I needed to work through.
Hmm.
and discovered that, I could get to some of those states in meditation and, experience some of those past lives and then not necessarily ask what I needed to learn, but I think alchemize maybe some of the energy that I was still carrying. So I love the idea of asking and of being more interactive because they just like your intuition, right? It wants to be invited in. Your guides, your angels, your ancestors, they want to be invited in. They want to know that they're wanted because so many of us have pushed them away for so long that they're hovering on the edges of humanity here to help us, but because we have free will, they're not going to come unless we ask.
Yes.
And so, I would love, I don't know if there's any like last things on your heart to share with women about dreams, or if you have an upcoming dream temple, I would love for you to share more, so those locally in Texas can come or fly out to see you. And yeah, I feel like we could go on and on and on. I'm like, this is so fascinating. I think we might need a part two.
Um, well, I don't have any in-person dream temples scheduled at the moment, although that could always shift within the next few months. I actually just completed a big immersive journey. It's a 3 hour shamanic womb dreaming journey, and it goes into the lineages of the ancient shamanic womb dreaming cults. And we learn practices, ancient teachings, and rituals, and also working with your womb as a medicine wheel for dreaming. And this is actually it's called red thread dream weaving, and it's womb centered dream work. And so this is something that it's living on my website that anyone can access, and it's ridiculously affordable because I want this wisdom to be accessible to all women. I think that when we are dreaming from the power of our wombs, from our erotic power and um, our creative authority and sovereignty as women, we truly change the world. We become visionary leaders, and we lead legacies like in our families. We cultivate more beauty, more reciprocity with the earth. We also open ourselves up to more oracular states. And so this is a beautiful way that women can introduce themselves to this work, but it's not just an introduction. It's actually a real deep dive, but I've created it in a way that it's accessible to all women at all dreaming levels. So all levels of experience are welcome to dive into this. And it really is, it's a beautiful way that you can practice strengthening your oracular states of consciousness and being able to tap into your erotic power in the dream time. This is something that interests me greatly because I think that when we are creating our lives and when we're feeding our own dream weave and also the dream weave of the world with pleasure and the feminine vibration of magic, like we truly are spiritual activists. Like we are planting new seeds for the earth. And this is something that I'm just so passionate about teaching, and everything's in there also to help women learn how to dream more strongly, more vividly, more lucidly. I had one woman tell me that, immediately, like the night after we completed this, that she was having the most vivid lucid dreams of her life. And all of these like creative downloads were coming in, and she's just been in a creatively fertile, yeah, just like creatively fertile place, like after going through this experience. So that's a way that people can begin to work with these lineages and this work. And I also like go deep into the herstory and the suppressed feminine history of the dream time, and womb consciousness and womb cosmology. And yeah, it's so
I'm
juicy,
like
so
already. I'm
yummy.
like I'm signing up. Thank you. You
Yes.
made it when you said red thread and womb. I'm like I'm there. Like that's my calling, my magic. Like yeah, continuing to bring these lineages to modern women and helping them remember what has always been, because we are such divine creators. And I love the sex magic aspect of it because it's not talked about enough. Like
Mhm.
we think that like, oh, that eroticness is just like for his pleasure or for, perhaps it's for your pleasure too, but actually no, like your orgasms can change the world.
Yes,
Like that's
absolutely.
like done, mic drop, like sign me up, like immediately. Thank you so much, Rebecca Radiance. We're definitely gonna have a part two because I'm gonna go do this work and then we're gonna come chat about it. Because I am so fascinated and so honored to be walking beside you, to be helping women remember and teaching the divine feminine mysteries. Please, ladies, if you're listening, go to the show notes, join the Dream Temple, and any of the dream journeys that Rebecca Radiance is sharing with the world. And if you're wanting to get on a plane, I know we talked a lot today about not getting on planes and doing things from our houses, but if you happen to want to get on a plane, come to France with Monarch Mystery School in September 12th to the 16th. We are doing a Red Thread Mary Magdalene pilgrimage. So, going to some of her sacred sites, connecting with the land. Because
Mhm.
part of our mission with Monarch Mystery School is to be a migrating sanctuary, to reactivate the land, to remember, to walk the same paths as our sisters before us, because this isn't our first journey doing this. So many of us have walked hand in hand. We have been in temples together. We have done the anointing rituals together. And it's time that we wake up and time that our beautiful rose hearts open again, so that we can be the new leaders and the new visionaries of the world, because it's beyond time. Beyond time. So thank you so much, Rebecca Radiance. Thank you to those listening. Please like, rate, subscribe, review, share this conversation with someone who needs to learn about their dreams. Thank you so much for being here. Be good to
Thank
one
you for
another.
having me, Victoria.
Oh, I love you so much. Mwah.
You too. Thank you. What a wonderful conversation.